Greetings and such disaster. Welcome to another episode of Cat Horror Potcat. Tonight, we have a special guest here with us. Poltergeist OD, who is a rapper from the third dimension.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for joining us. So we tried to quit doing these podcasts, but we
could just give it up.
Yeah, Scream came out, and it's one of my favorite franchise. And so now we are going to torture people who listen to this by talking about the film.
So you're welcome.
How do we start?
Well, we're going to start with
1996.
Scream is the original.
Or hey, what was when did you discover Scream?
I got into horror when I was really young, so I saw it when it came out. I was only 6 years old, I think, 6 or 7.
That's a proper age.
Yeah. My parents let me watch whatever I wanted, basically, so yeah, I fell into horror right away.
What was your earliest memory, your earliest dream?
What was your first favorite scary movie?
Stephen King's It, 1990. That was the first one that I really showed an interest in when it comes to the horror genre.
How about yours?
Mine was Dracula from 1931. That was my first. The first one I became attached to, but I was watching Pumpkinhead and Child's Play. And I think Child's Play was the first. After the Universal Monster obsessions, it was Child's Play. And then Scream. I remember when Scream came out. I didn't get into it. I didn't see it until the second one came out, and I saw both of those. I wasn't supposed to, but I saw them. They more grew on me over time, and then when the third one came out on pay-per-view, I was pretty enamored of the trilogy.
Yeah, it really shook the world when it came out. There was nothing like it.
Yes, it's Wes Craven loves to do those meta films. After Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is my second favorite in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, he went balls to the wall. Yaron balls to the wall with Scream. So Scream 1996. That's so much. The first one has so much comedy to it when you compare it to any of the other ones.
Can I just say, for the first part, it was actually supposed to be called a scary movie.
Yeah, it was.
You knew that, right?
Yeah, that's why they called Scary Movie that.
Yeah, that's why the parody to the original, right? Okay. And it was called Scary Movie, but they went with Scream. You know why?
No, I don't know why.
Okay. Michael Jackson and his sister Janet were doing a whole song called Scream, and they go, ah, and it was black and white, kind of like extra imposed music video.
Okay.
Janet and Michael doing Scream. Well, Bob and Harvey, the most unnotorious, what's that
Weinstein.
called? Yeah, the Weinstein brothers, Merrimack, right?
The Rapey brothers.
The Rapey brothers. No, we'll say Harvey. I mean, even Courtney Love said it. If you want to give advice to a young artist, just if Harvey Weinstein invites you to a dinner, don't go. Anyway, I digress. They saw the Scream video of Michael and Janet and said, let's just go with that. And that's why they went.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jackson's pretty scary as it is.
That is true. The transition is scary and so uncanny.
I was hoping in the new one, I thought for a moment they were going to actually do a reference to Scary Movie in Scream 5.
Oh, like a what? That would have been sweet.
They should have given them some credit because I admire the way
It's part of the culture at this point. It's like part of the Ghostface culture.
Totally.
Absolutely. Speaking of Ghostface, okay, so we all know that Scream, if you haven't and anyone that's watching, what the whole movie is about, it's Wes Craven, right? It's Wes Craven who wrote Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, he didn't write these, but
No, he directed them. Yeah, that's.
What was the guy who wrote them? With the Williams.
Where's my notes? Where's my phone? I'll be right back.
Here we are, 3 fans of Scream. None of us know who wrote the.
Right, I'm the guy who like wrote a song about it and everything. I should know all these facts, but
It was like Robert Williamson or something. He wrote the first 2, and I think the 4th one as well.
Okay.
So what's your favorite film out of the franchise? Or just how would you 2 fiends rate them in order?
You go
the first one for sure on top. Like, it was just groundbreaking. It blew my mind when it came out. I would say the second after that, and then I would put maybe 5, 4, 3.
5, 4, 3. Okay.
Like
yeah.
For some reason, I'm not too like I love them all. They're all fucking amazingly cool.
Perfect.
Very captive. I'm always like this every time I watch.
Intense.
I love them all, but some reason the second one doesn't do it for me when I compare them all together, because it's so similar to the first one, and I do like the killer reveal in it, but I can't stand that scene where the boyfriend from Sliders gets up and starts singing out loud.
Oh, well, that's, you know what the point of that is, right? I mean, yeah, it was absolutely cheesy and terrible, but they did it just to confirm that he was a
loving boyfriend.
There you go, a loving boyfriend. That's all they wanted to emphasize on. And they had a lot of, so much emphasis on what the meaning of everything was. It's so artistically done. It's beautiful. It's a good job. I enjoyed the fact that they, well,
something or other. In order to begin with these podcasts, sometimes it's so subtle. So the first one, Matthew Lillard, it's to me that he ended up doing SLC Punk after doing Scream, because Scream was a hit from the beginning because it's so good.
Oh, you think he went
SLC
backward?
Punk, which is a good film too, but it was more of an independent film at the time, right?
It was. It absolutely was an independent film. Let's talk from the beginning of the film, okay? So the movie starts, okay? We have Drew Barrymore, all right? Did you know that she was casted for the lead?
No, I thought Nev Campbell was supposed to play her part.
No.
He was
so Drew was supposed to be Sid?
Drew was supposed to be Sid.
Wow.
It was Drew that also chose to be Casey.
Huh.
The girl at the beginning of the film, and that was killed. She said, if you're going for this whole, like, let's expose scary movies for what they are, then let's switch it up and change it, and let me, who's the main character, Drew Barrymore, and kill me, because you never expect Drew, the cover girl of the poster at the time, to die, right?
Hey,
that's brilliant.
That's
such a Wes thing to do too, like.
Yeah, and because she's a fan of Wes and was like really into it, she wanted to be. Yeah, it was all cool. Credit. That's a point. That shows like how great Drew Barrymore is. Like her lisp when she talks like this, and she's talking like that. It's a little lisp, like a little hissy.
Never noticed.
But yeah, she's so cute. We love Drew. but she's also a vegan and adamant about loving animals as we are because we're kitty cats and we love all animals of all sorts. And when she was in her whole scene with her screaming and seeing her boyfriend out on the porch, that was drawn with her trust with Wes Craven and how he directed her and just triggered her emotions by saying that because they had had a conversation about her seeing an owner of a dog light his dog on fire.
Oh no!
Yeah, and that made her absolutely cry and say, "How can people be so ruthless?" Well, he triggered her emotions with saying, "I'm lighting the match. I'm lighting the match."
Oh,
I think I have heard about that somewhere.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a lot of true emotions being driven from these great actors. It's not just like, hey, let's scream at this point. Let's do this. It's driven. It's triggered. It's triggering real emotion.
Definitely makes it deeper.
Absolutely.
Like once you know these kind of things happen behind screen, it makes what happens on screen just that much more effective.
Yeah. And on that note, when we talk about realism and all that shit, we have the guy who is the voice.
Mojo Jojo.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Mojo Jojo. What is your favorite scary movie?
Mojo Jojo did the voice of Ghostface. Absolutely.
Like a fish, you will be caught.
That is it.
It will come out. Out will come here.
Someone should edit that together.
Before we go on to Mojo Jojo and we're on the note of Drew Barrymore, she also was supposed, we said she was supposed to play Sydney, right?
And it's her best role,
Yeah.
My favorite movie.
Yeah. So, okay. So Ghostface, we have Ghostface, he did the voice, and then what Wes Craven did, he kept them separate. He kept the voice of Mojo Jojo, Ghostface, away from
the other actors.
The actors. And
yeah, so that they never had a connection with him at all.
There you go. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And he had a stunt double for the body of Ghostface.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering, in all the Scream movies, was it actually Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard playing Ghostface? Was it them in the stunt double? Does the same thing carry on for the sequels with each character, each actor? Because, that's the character.
Right.
So it was never them in the costumes then?
No.
Wow.
That's kind of...
There's always a stunt double.
It was a very good one because they were tripping and falling over absolutely everything.
Yeah, Roger
Jackson.
Jackson.
Yes.
Let's give credit where credit is due, and Roger Jackson is the voice. And then we have the stunt double, Dane Farrell.
Who was a feral cat.
Dane Farrell.
Yeah.
Ghostface was actually a bunch of feral cats, and they would stack on top of each other so they'd wobble like this. But when you put on the outfit, it makes a lot more sense, and it explains why when he falls, it seems like it's a bunch of cats inside of his robe.
They later joined Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, and that's
and that's why every Cirque du Soleil they ask the audience, what is your favorite scary movie?
So also we have a couple other good facts about where Ghostface originated from.
The Halloween store.
Oh, no.
Fun time. The painting.
Well, that's the color scheme that they went with.
I thought Ghostface was a costume that already existed, and they had other ones as well. Yes, it was.
So Wes Craven was checking out a house that looked spooky, okay, and he was looking for locations for the house. In it, he discovered, and I'm trying to find credit for the woman who found the ghost face itself. the original that we see in the movie, and she discovered it. I think it was the producer, and I'm gonna give you her name. And she was one
her
that
name and her number.
she found it and downstairs, and Craven said, "Yeah, that looks good," but the props guys were like, "Well, let's imitate it and see if we can make a better and cheaper version of it." But none of the versions were better than the original that she had found in the old house. So they just left it alone and said, "Okay, this works for us." And they
So it was. They found the mask in a basement
in the house. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So it already
existed on its own. And actually, but I have the right. I have the name of whose right it was, and they asked the person if they can use the mask for the movie.
That must have been a big day for them.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the only direction that they had for the costume was the only costume direction the screenplay included was a ghost mask killer. That's it.
Ghost mask.
That's all they described. They didn't have a particular, just like Mike Myers, right? Yeah. They had no real description for the mask.
Fun World mask.
Fun World, there you go.
Well, I have a bunch of other good facts, like in an extended version of the scene where Sydney uses her computer to dial
911.
Yeah. She can be seen typing her home address.
Really?
Yeah. You know what her home address is?
On Elm Street, I know.
There you go. It's an homage to.
Is it Nancy's address?
It's 334 Elm Street, but it's an homage to Wes Craven, right there.
That's awesome.
And then also speaking of the homage, and Wes Craven himself appeared as Fred, the janitor.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did.
Fred. I love that.
Craven came out as a janitor.
Hey, Fred.
Hey. That was a good one.
I heard that they did not credit, the fans did not want himself credited.
Oh, here it is. So Wes Craven recalled touring a home they were considering for the film when producer Marianne Maddalena spotted the mask draped over a chair.
Wow, even spookier.
Right?
Scary chairs are out there.
Sorry, I just had to say that before.
What's your favorite Cherry movie?
With Phoebe Hartman and Cherry?
Cherry.
What's your favorite Cherry movie?
So in the first one, who's your favorite killer? Is it Stu or Billy?
I love Stu.
I mean, because Stu has a place in my heart for SLC Punk. He's cool. But Billy, he has vengeance, and that's important.
Yeah. I have to go with Billy.
Yeah.
Billy's more like killer material, but I like the comedy Stu brings.
I love that line when he's dying, and he's like, "You really call my parents? My mom and dad are gonna be so pissed at me, so mad at me."
That's great.
That was my favorite line.
That's great.
I would wear that on a shirt, just his face with that quote.
Yes. Yeah.
So you know, before they made this film, they also were thinking of other people before Wes Craven. They were also thinking of
Michael and Janet Jackson to direct it. JFK.
They were thinking of Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez.
Ooh, that would have been a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. That would
I'm
not
not
have
sure
worked.
how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, Wes Craven literally turned down the job twice before he agreed. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was interesting that he was directing. Because with the Nightmare films, he did more writing than directing. By one.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting She has not spent the right.
I love that they didn't have a very good, big budget for this movie to begin with,
Fooled me.
and even Craven did like a whistling thing on the soundtrack, and like he was trying, like they're trying to make here and there, like he was whistling on the soundtrack to like connect with you, and he also had actors who were really into it. I mean, they must have, it's the down low. It's what people know, and then they see a good script. People want to get in on it, like Courtney Cox, right? Okay, she said, "Let me in on this." She wrote Wes Craven a letter personally.
Oh, she wanted to be.
She wanted to be on it, and she was already established and friends.
Well, yeah, so I was going to ask. I had to ask, like, were they friends?
It would be so wild to be in a position where, like, famous ass actors are writing you, like, "Hey, can I be in your movie?" Like,
That'd be amazing.
That must feel incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, this guy didn't even want to. He's already credited. He's already credited for Hills.
Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Nice on that.
Exactly. At that point, Craven was established, and so Cox wanted a part of it. Yeah. And she wrote him saying, because her character on Friends was already loosely based on her or tightly based on her, because she was very
bitch.
Yeah, she says, I'm already calculated. That's exactly what she said. She says, I'm already calculated and tight on my character, so it's not too stretched to be a beach. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no other Gale Weathers besides the actress that tried to play her in it.
Which is adorable and cute, because her boyfriend was already, I think he was on Friends before he was in Scream. Is that right? He was the one that was David Arquette. He was like stalking Phoebe.
Oh, I didn't know he was on Friends.
He was.
I don't know what I know I knew David Arquette from something before Scream, but I don't know what it was.
I met him in person.
Really? That's dope.
Yeah, he was Zorro.
He was dressed as Zorro at Universal Studios.
It was a red carpet event for Rob Zombie, and I had free tickets to the radio. And I just snuck myself into there by speaking Spanish to other people who had red carpet access.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite kill out of in the first game?
God. I would have to say when the boys are stabbing each other and when he kills David Lillard.
Okay, yeah. If I'm allowed to say that, then that.
He doesn't really kill him. It's more of a TV smashing his head.
Okay, can I say pre-kill?
Okay.
I love the accidental death.
I love the end scenes in all of them. Like the big reveal with the big dramatic events. It's so over the top. I love it.
Yeah, they do their finales perhaps better than any other films I can think of. Like, I'm trying to think.
Like, no, it's like it's expected, but you never really expect what's gonna happen in it. So like it's coming, you just don't know how.
Yeah, it's always a really good twist, and then there's also there's always a few extra punches in the face.
The audience.
The only thing that I can think that sort of compares is maybe Taxi Driver. Just the whole finale of Bloodbath and whatnot. It's always okay, now Gale Weathers has the gun all of a sudden. Oh wait, the safety's on. Never mind. Oh, where is she? She's gone.
Classic.
And then Dewey. So they almost killed the Dewey off in the first film. But they shot extra footage just in case. And they he ended up using it, so he survived. And his limp slowly disappear, but then reappear. I feel like his limp disappear on the third one, somewhat, mostly, but then it comes back in the fifth one.
The catnip a little earlier today.
Wait a minute, where's my drink?
Where's my cat?
Where's my catnip? Hold on, wait a minute.
This is brought to you by Turkey Breathe, bathe, bite. Is that backwards for you as well?
No, it's not for me.
I feel like I get worse at doing these podcasts.
Okay.
Oh, another thing that come to mind now that you start to think. When Jamie Kennedy on the couch and he's watching Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, he's like, behind you. I didn't realize until the last time I watched it, his name in real life is Jamie as well. So it's like, shoot, he's Jamie, she's Jamie in the film.
Sure,
and the killer is behind them in like a 3 ways. And then we'll get to the fifth one where it's...
I can see better knowing that.
And I love Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy, Jamie Lee Curtis, warning Jamie from Jamie was right then.
I could have met Jamie Kennedy because I was in a film that he was in, but for some, and he was sitting fucking right next to me, but for some reason I just didn't say anything. I was just like, oh, waiting for the day to be over.
That would have been me. I'd have been too nervous. I'd be like, oh, I fucking love you, bro.
I would have been like, I think we like the same things. Let's get high together.
Yeah.
That was me.
That's how my approach to everybody. So you like drinking, let's drink. You like this, let's do that together. Let's hang. And if
I just so happen to have 4 blunts on me at all times.
Hey, here we go. That'd be great. Yeah, no, I didn't say anything. It was a horror movie too. I don't remember what it was called, but it was in somebody's big ass mansion somewhere in Hollywood. They had the sheets of plastic in the hall, and he was all covered in blood.
You know, when you're in a party in Hollywood and you're at some,
Well, it wasn't a party; it was a film.
Oh.
He was on his phone. I was pretending.
Well, if you're being hired to be on a film, then they deserve to have you there. That's the rule.
Yeah. I was an extra in a film a while ago, and I talked to everybody there.
Yeah, that's the point.
I should, yeah.
That's the point.
My problem was I did it so often I would get sick, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. I wish I had some license in this. Wait till it be fucking over.
That's the worst way to.
You get kicked off. So sometimes they kick if you try to talk to the stars.
They love people who are just happy to be there, and then they put you more places to be happy to be.
No, they literally there are people trying to not put that. Anyway,
I've heard about that. Yeah, like if you take pictures of them or like try to speak
to
them, and they're most likely going through their lines and trying to get into character. And if you try to break that, then you might, that's their job. They get paid a lot of money to do it. So
yeah.
I understand.
They left you behind, like backstage. Like I can't do this with the camera. I'll do this behind.
Not too extra.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe should we just talk about all the films? I feel like it's not so much a good flow when we're just trying to focus on one
movie.
Yeah, fuck it.
So what's everybody's favorite out of all of them? I know I think we got mine, which would be the first.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
You want to go next?
No, go ahead.
Okay, mine's again like you. Of course, the first one is the best. I absolutely love it. 100 yards ahead of the other ones, but I do love the other ones. Mine would probably go 1, 4. Then I start getting like, I'm not sure. 1, 4. I'm one of the weird people who likes the third one better than the second.
Yeah, I don't really care for the third. Do you mind if I include the?
No, it's fine. I like the third one. I like the new one a lot. I just know that the first and the fourth are my top. And then it would probably go. 3, 2, 5, but I don't know. I really did like. I like the new one. I love everything about the new one except for I just was very irritated by the killers. Not
On which one?
in the new one. Like before I realized
But
they were
don't they
killers, I
all
was way
annoy us a
ignorant.
little bit? Don't all killers in all movies annoy us a
No,
little
I
bit?
love that. Whoa.
I find especially in slashers, I'm mostly annoyed by the whole cast.
You're mostly annoyed by the killer.
I mean, like with the killer in this one, I thought it was different because like it was clearly my first guess, and then it comes back to it, and you think it's gonna be somebody else because you're like, oh no, it's never gonna be your first guess, so you just kind of like throw that idea away, and then they bring it back, and it was, and I was like, oh shit, they did it, and I just thought that was kind of like meta in itself.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about the first one?
Oh no, I'm talking about the fifth.
This one, okay. I don't even think I know you guessed it.
I guess I had two in mind, and it was the two killers. But they tricked me when they crossed the two killers that I had suspected together. But I mean, I felt I was on the right track, but they really twisted it by, putting the two people you never suspected to be in the group so that they're killing together.
I was stupid. I didn't see it coming. I was just thinking, I cannot wait for her stupid, idiot, annoying ass boyfriend to get his fucking throat slit. I couldn't stand it.
As soon as they had that hot girl, being filmed and not killed, I thought she was in on it. As soon as someone is within the killer's radius and they're not dead, just harmed but not dead, they're in on it. That's my suspicion. Like, why not kill them? You killed everybody else like a fucking second. Like, why not kill them later? Like why later? Because they're in on it. That's why you need them. Why do you need them? They're in on it.
In the second one, there was that whole, the suspicion of Sid's boyfriend because he just got cut on the arm, which they did a similar thing in the new one, where somebody had just got cut on the arm, but they weren't murdered. So
that's why they left the girl, the sister in the very beginning, alive.
Yeah.
Suspicion might have been on it because of my saying that, if they're there, why not kill them? They do it with everyone else. You need them if they're going to be dead, but they needed the sister alive to raise that suspicion with the audience and the people in the movie to make you think maybe the sister is part of
the older sister.
No, the younger sister.
There is no way, to me, there is no way she was going to be the killer because you see her being attacked.
But that's why
I suspected her at first, though, because you've seen lots of people get attacked and they turn out to be the killer, like it's all a ruse or whatever.
But
so I did suspect her for a little bit.
Right.
But she was completely. There was nobody else there to witness the attack, so it would have been a lot of show for no reason.
That was
you're right.
That was like a 15-minute suspicion of whether the sister or not. Even when the sister was having hesitation, that 2-second hesitation of whether to untie her or not.
Yeah, that was good too. She was second guessing.
That was part of her keeping her alive and being like, is she part of it? Because the killer was making her think, look, I didn't kill her to make it seem like, she's because I needed her, but I wanted to raise that suspicion in your mind to not untie her because I needed her to be tied up while I killed you.
Plus the fact that we all still think she's tied up, and then that final
right, because he raised that, he left that.
I love that they cut it right there because I'm like, oh, she definitely didn't untie her. So I fell for it.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was a genius move.
And it was all set up by keeping the sister alive in the beginning.
What did you think of them having Keith Ulrich come back as a ghost?
What?
Was he a ghost? Was he just a mental?
Was that like deep fake technology or something? Because
oh, that was him.
It was the actor. He just
looks
looks that good now.
Yeah, he looks better
What?
than Johnny Depp. Yeah,
Well, you see how good looking he
What?
is in it.
yeah.
He
I was
just-
like, how are they making him look like that? I thought it was some kind of like new technology.
Oh no, they
That's
just.
him.
You could tell they put. I could tell they put the extra makeup on him.
Yeah, they put the glaze on him, you know, like
Yeah.
but
Holy shit, that's just what he looks like still?
yeah,
Because I could tell
Wild.
he was a lump in the face. But
yeah,
But yeah, he kept his look pretty well. That was-
yeah, he looks better than Johnny Depp, which is why they got. By the way, this is why they cast this Keith Ulrich, because they wanted it to be an ode to Johnny Depp of him looking like him.
Coming through the window. We used to.
Coming through the window when when he snuck into Sydney's window. What's his
Just
name?
like Glenn does.
Yeah.
And,
Just like Johnny Depp does in Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
I think there's an outfit reference in the fourth or fifth one where she's wearing I forget her name, but this actress is wearing like the tank top with the number 10 on it or whatever, and that's supposed to be an homage to Johnny Depp's character in Nightmare.
Nice.
Oh, I never noticed that.
I like
that.
just found that out today from a meme. I haven't even checked and saw if like that's really why, but that's got to be the explanation, right? It's like the same shirt.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's funny. We used to always joke when watching Scream, and like, oh, there's the poor man's Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And then,
Walmart
didn't put-
Johnny Depp.
That's what it is, right? Yeah. I mean, Steve Ulrich, I loved him in As Good as It Gets, when the character, the artist is drawing a guy, they pick up an artist, a model off the street, and then they rob him, and the character gets like beat up. Steve Ulrich is a good actor, but yeah, he looks like Johnny Depp. He looks way better than Johnny Depp.
Yeah, like he aged fantastically.
yeah, I'm not sure what else I haven't seen any Steve Ulrich.
He was also in The
I
Craft.
can't. Oh, okay, yeah. I can't
Oh,
think
yeah.
of any either.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
The
come on, these are like Steve Ulrich is not
With
the
Nev
famous
Campbell
guy,
as well.
but he was in pretty iconic movies in the '90s, and he was a part of our like rich tapestry, like dreamy boys and shit.
So I hate to do this to him, other than it don't matter at all. Because Steve Ulrich is such a cool sounding name.
Yeah.
His real name
Okay.
is
I'm ready.
Brian Ray Trout.
Well,
What?
Brian, like a masculine name of Brianna, so I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and
I
he's,
mean, like, it's not a bad name, but Skeet Ulrich was like his choice over his real name.
yeah, well, they said Skeet came from, he used to play baseball or softball, and he was very fast, so the coach would nickname him Skeeto.
Ah,
Okay,
He got
yeah.
that's cute. I can see that in his chin. He's very cute in his chin.
And then speaking of him with the names, so I've heard that Loomis is another Halloween reference to
Yeah,
Oh.
for sure.
Dr. Loomis.
Oh, okay, I get it.
I thought the thing that I love about not only getting to see him return in the new film and having his daughter in there, but there was another dimension that wasn't there in any of the other films where it becomes more of a somewhat paranormal, where it's like she's seeing a ghost, she's in the house where he died, and that's when he's been trying to get his daughter to tap into that homicidal urge. We all have those
But I
very
think we all
silent
hear those
things to kill.
voices until we realize this is the right moment to actually listen to this voice, because the whole time her father's, Loomis, Billy Loomis, is trying to, intrigue her into killing the sister, right? In Scream 5, and she just finally gives in when she's going to kill her attacker, right? All right.
Yeah, I thought
So,
it was good.
That's
It
the
was
time
like
to listen.
building up her.
That's good filtering.
Yeah,
We
it was,
all need a good filter.
it was
Like, we love TV, but do we believe all of it? No. Filter between the facts and the nonsense.
I just thought they did two interesting things. So first, it's you don't know. You suspect her as a killer because she's losing her mind. Perhaps, you know, it's a big aspect. Everyone, she's under suspicion. She's related to the original killer, and she's also seeing and hearing things we don't know if it's real or if it's not. We never truly find out that it is. I like to go with it was real. She's seeing a real ghost of her father, and the fact that while she's being attacked in the house where he died, that's where all that energy accumulates to culminates, and then she finds the strength there where she's fuck you, such shit out.
I mean, it's a fucking release, if you ask me. It's an absolute release of her background, her genetics, the build-up of all that that's been happening, and I was stabbing the air with her. Come on.
I was a little thrown off by it at first. Like when it first happened, I was like, "Oh, it's cool. They're doing that." But then I was like, "Oh no, they're doing the Dexter thing. This is gonna be weird." But I got over it right away. Like it didn't bother me that much. It was just kind of like I was caught off guard because like Scream has never really been like a paranormal type series or anything. So I think like what they were going for was this was just like her mind reacting to her stress or something like that. But it was just like it was a weird thing for me at first.
I'm not sure if you don't get the psychology about this right away, then yeah, it's still disturbing. But you know, once you get it, you're like there with her.
Yeah, any way that it was intended, it totally works. I just thought it was cool because it was a new aspect. You hadn't seen any of the previous films, other than actually you sort of have when Ghostface, when Sydney's brother is fucking with her mind with pretending to be their dead mother. That's where I get.
She sees her mom in the window, right? Yeah, her like decrepit ghost.
Yeah, so they don't really do much because it seems the third one is Dan's least favorite typically, or it's supposed to be her brother, her half brother she never met is behind the entire thing. They never really. First of all, it didn't really they never set anything up to really go that direction other than the mystery of who her mother was. And then I was hoping they would sort of kind of brush up on that they did in the fourth or the fifth one, which they never really do.
Yeah, it's weird that it was just never brought up again, really. I feel like they regret it.
Totally. I think so, yeah.
Like it's just that cousin that you don't talk to. He's like he drinks too much, gets a little rowdy around Christmas.
That's also the third one. That's the only one where there's one killer, correct?
Wait, no, because
the first one you have Stu and Billy Loomis. The second one you have Billy Loomis's mother and what's his name, the friend who goes to the college. And then the third one is the half brother, and maybe somebody I'm forgetting. I don't think so though. The fourth one you have the niece Jill and the Culkin kid.
Yeah, that was
and then
great.
you have the new one with the boyfriend, the one friend.
Aesthetically, I love the fourth one. Aesthetically.
Oh, with the blurry. Oh, how they have the light.
Yeah, everything. Just the actors, the time, the lights, the cinematography, everything.
Here's another weird thing. If we had to rate the killers, your favorite killers, and maybe we can just omit.
The first one, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe if we omit the, Stu, who are your favorite killers in order after that?
Okay.
This is tough. I don't know. I mean, like I know the first stands out the most. I don't know.
All right, I'll start off.
Okay, you have it.
Yeah, definitely not the new one.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely my least favorite. Especially the boyfriend, he is at the very bottom of the list. However, I don't recall the friend's name. The killer, the other killer, the female friend. She,
yeah.
I found her very annoying as well, but she had a fierceness. She was not fucking around. She was
in the
a
fifth
total,
one, right?
yeah, she was a total killer. She had that anger. She had that drive, that raw.
I haven't seen any
murder
behind
in
the
her.
fact scenes or anything, but I'm pretty sure she like really did,
Drive.
had it driven from Matthew Lillard. Like she was really trying to, and
She seemed more fierce, even more fierce than.
she reminded me of Matthew
She
Lillard.
seemed like the only one out of the two who was even capable of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she fucking, spoiler alert, she
Like,
fucking
is it
killed
me?
Dewey. She
Is
killed
it-
Dewey.
is
She
it-
almost killed Gail. She
Is
was
this me or
going
is
to
like
town
does
on
she remind you of
hacking
a really
these
good
fuckers
best friend?
She don't remind me of it.
Is this me or does she remind you of a really good best friend you used to have?
Well, I would hope I wouldn't have a friend like her, but
No, it was actually of a best friend I had in second grade to sixth grade, and she ended up being in the CIA list.
On the CIA list.
Yeah,
It's sort of wanted.
like wanted.
Well, at least she did something.
I mean, most of my friends end up there. I mean, I admire them from afar and appreciate them. But yeah, she reminded me of a good friend I had, and I found comfort in her.
I
I just
liked
could not.
I liked the scene in the basement where the other girl came down and she was like, "Why'd you come down here alone? What if I'm the killer?" And she's like, "What
yeah,
if
the
I'm the
neat-
killer?" That was a very intense scene. I really liked it.
Yeah, where she the movie fanatic.
It was a niece.
No, you're thinking of the fourth one. There's no niece.
Yes, it's a niece of the guy who was like the movie boss.
Of Jamie Kennedy's character.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy, his niece and nephew. They're in the movie. They're the movie boss, the twins.
Yeah, they were like in that house for a while, and there's like a shrine for him and everything.
Well, I was thinking you said the niece, so I started thinking of Sydney's niece.
No,
which is
oh, that's the
fourth
fourth one.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, they are twins. I forget they were twins as well.
Yeah, they were definitely set up just like his uncle were to like make us think the same thing.
That
right?
was a really good scene too.
Yeah.
She's like trying to she doesn't realize who she's talking.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was really sexy being by. I don't know if she's bisexual, but she's definitely like into the ladies. It's just like the lady pond is cool.
But she's just
Yeah, I didn't know if she was like all the way or not.
she reminds
but-
me of a friend.
Yeah, does she remind you of a friend too?
Oh, that girl, not the killer.
Oh, okay.
It is also interesting too. They had to wish we knew these characters' names, even though we all seen it twice.
I mean, yeah, in a row, in one night.
I'm pretty bad with it though. Like I'll smoke weed the whole time I'm watching a movie.
This is
Oh,
why
yeah.
we watch movies in the
If I have to
drive.
go to a theater, I'm like it's edibles or whatever. Like I don't watch movies unless I'm high. So
Right?
it's hard for me to remember characters' names unless I've seen the movie like 6 times.
Absolutely.
Same. Even if I'm sober, it's harder for me as well. But yeah, when I smoke, I don't.
But I remember the good parts, and I think that's what we're here to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
That's She was on the couch as well, just like watching her uncle on the TV, and then she gets stabbed.
Yeah, that was like triple meta.
And then she stabbed as well.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people didn't like that scene. I've seen a few people on Instagram and stuff complaining about that scene specifically, but I thought it was awesome.
I would write to
Yeah,
them,
why?
get over it. What is your personal problem?
I mean, what's not too late? The films. The thing that I really liked about this new one here in particular was, I think it's just, talking about them being meta films. I think it's the most meta film out of all of them. Maybe even more so than the original.
I would say it's like at least 2 times meta than any other one.
It's a reflection of a reflection of another reflection. and it's just it this is the old story of history repeats itself. You know, it all comes into play, and really in the beginning of the film, David Arquette, which I had not seen the posters or flyers for the movie prior to its
I
premiere.
totally suspected him as the killer because I thought he wanted Gail back so that he was committing these murders to try to reunite.
Dewey would never do that. Not our Dewey.
Not our Dewey, yeah, yeah. I never would have suspected it. Like when I saw him on the poster, I was like, yeah, it seems like he could be a suspect or he's out to get them.
I'd say if anybody. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'd say if anybody out of the original cast could do it, it would be Gail, right? For the
for the race
look or something. Yeah.
She came in like
She's the
more
most cutthroat.
She came in more earnest, and I feel like when I now you know when you're in a drive-in versus a movie theater and you're watching a movie in privacy, you're more liable to scream out things and say comments that you're thinking in your head. But when I was watching it, I was just seeing her complain about this and that, and then I forgot what I was gonna mention about that.
Well, Gail also, she really has gone through sort of a character change. She's not as ruthless as she was, I don't think, when we see her in the first one. She becomes more...
she's less of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is the part I was getting to. So I'm thinking David Arquette as an actor and Courtney Arquette as an actor are pretty tired of this whole Courtney Cox Arquette, no longer Arquette, Courtney Cox, are now tired of this whole Scream series, and they just want to give it up. So I'm thinking in my head, yeah, I'll be in it again. David Arquette says, if I can die already, just get rid of my character, and like they do it. That's it.
And you've had
I
actors.
thought it was like the most obvious move that they could have made. Like when they announced Scream 5, I was like, how much you want to bet Dewey dies? Like that's like the first thing I said.
That's great. Yeah, I'm glad they made it. I'm glad they made him more of a man than they did in other movies, because they really like.
Well, he's in his 50s now, so he's a little smarter. Not that
he seems more of like a I'll protect you kind of guy. Cause like before it was like, dude, we can't handle this.
It was like he was trying to, but the first one he's like a kid, so he's 25.
Deputy.
And it's funny because in this one, this is the only one where he technically couldn't handle it. So.
Yeah. It's also meta and tragic to see, how their marriage did not work out, and not just that, but the fact that he still watched Gail Weather's show in New York, and was obviously
that was so sad.
That was, yeah. I think that to all of us were. Is it life imitating art, art imitating life? What are we going through here? And is this necessary? But the artists are following through with it, so I guess I'm comfortable with it. Are they?
Well, they're still friends in real life because they created that like celebrity name game show together afterwards. And I've heard. I mean, I don't know them.
Celebrity game show. What celebrity game?
I hear they're on good terms.
Plus, it doubles down on the meta aspect. Like, I feel like both of them being mature adults and they're actors, like, this is their art. They probably love art, right? Who wouldn't? And they probably read the scripts and were like, okay, so this is meta as fuck.
Right.
Yeah, they did a great job. And another cool thing with the new film, I thought, was how they had the character named Wes. Although it was very strange how you don't see him as a kid in the fourth one, because obviously he would have been like 5. But how he died and they do the whole thing for Wes within the film.
Oh man, I almost cried when that happened. I was like, oh, Wes.
That was scary.
Yeah, we knew that it was in reference to the boyfriend in the movie, but we all knew it was for Wes Craven.
Yeah, it was. They made it pretty obvious, and I thought it was really touching, and I really liked that part.
Right.
Yeah, I was very hesitant to see, not hesitant to see the film, but Wes Craven not directing it. I'm sure it'll suck.
Not
It-
so much.
It blew me away other than finding the killers
Oh,
irritating.
okay. So my favorite quote in the whole movie, okay,
Really low.
that I really loved in the whole movie. Okay, are you ready? You know already what I'm talking about. When the sister, you know, comes to David Arquette's house with her boyfriend, the killer.
Wait, no, you're talking about when they go.
Oh, that's right.
They go to Randy's
sister's house.
and they're all trying to speculate. You know, how is the formula here? Who's the killer? And Wes he says something. He's like, well, if I'm a suspect, you're definitely a suspect because you know your girlfriend left you. Your wife left you. You've been wrapped in this before, and you're like an alcoholic, washed-up sheriff who hates his life.
And that's Wes who's saying it to him.
And Dewey's. Well, you could be the killer too because that
just cut me deep. He's like, well, you've been the killer. I just killed the killer because I just cut me deep. Yeah.
I'm the killer. You are too.
That cut me real deep. We just like laughed.
That was a good joke. My favorite joke in the whole movie is when they're making fun of the title of the new Stab movie. They're like, why is it just called Stab? Why not Stab 8? We know what the title really is. I thought that was awesome.
Yes, because we were all like, why is it called Scream? It needs to be called Scream 5. When
I
they
complained
talk
about that right before the movie too, and like it just hit me right here, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yes. That is such a Wes Craven move right there.
Only way that it works. Only way they can get away with calling it Scream.
Yeah.
It's the only way I'm forgiving it, because like somebody commented on one of my posts on Instagram yesterday, and they were like, why not just call it Scream 5 or Scream with the S is the 5? And I was like, have you seen the movie? Maybe watch it first, because they explain it, and I thought it was brilliant that they made fun of it. And like the requel thing, requel, I've never heard that term before this movie, and I think it's brilliant. I love it.
What's the new invention?
Yeah, that was
Yeah, like I mentioned before in the beginning of this whole podcast was that, I mean, I forgot to mention this part, but when I was doing research on facts, I put scary movie.
Oh, really?
And why am I not putting facts? And I thought, oh my god, am I that dumb? And then
All the facts are about the Wayans brothers.
Yeah, no, not even that came up. And then I looked up the facts, and it said, guess what? They wanted to call it Scary Movie, but they did it to Scream because of Janet and Michael Jackson music video from the Wild Party.
I didn't know about the Janet and Michael Jackson thing, though. That's interesting.
Yeah. We should put like a little insert, like down there somewhere.
I would
like where they go or whatever.
So here are some interesting facts.
That would have been a good one.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Now that Wes Craven has passed, I think it would be cool if they would start calling the sequels, if they continue on, if they would start calling them Stab 2, Stab 3. That'd be cool. I don't know.
I would definitely watch the Stab movies. Like the way they describe them in the movies, it's just Scream, but seems like it's like Scream but a little bit dumber, which I think I would also be into.
Can we give like a shout out to one guy who was doing a review on this on YouTube, and he said, "Oh wait, do you know how they mentioned it's Scream 4? How the Stab movies had time travel?"
Yeah, so he did this put together like Ghostface inside of a DeLorean going 88, and then he's like on a cover over the pool in the other one.
I mean, I would have watched
back, Sid.
Yeah.
And then he calls Sydney up and he's like, Sarah Connor.
Yeah, Sarah Connor.
Shit. I think we just wrote a spoof.
Yeah, it's definitely a spoofy spin-off.
Like, that was definitely them making fun of, like, Jason X, right? They were just like, oh, they put him in space.
Yeah.
I love Jason X.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean-
it's awesome. It's really stupid, which I like.
To me, if any movie, if you say you want to watch this movie, what's it about? It takes place in space. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
What's it about? It's about a killer in space. I'm totally.
double in,
Critters in space? Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
triple
Yeah,
in.
Critters 4.
Yeah. That was the first movie Leonardo DiCaprio ever did.
What?
Yeah.
Critters, yeah.
There's 3. Yeah.
Was it 3?
I love those films. You got them behind you?
I
I think
do
so.
have them here somewhere. Hang on.
Yeah, show off your collection over there. I see you got the 2 ghost face masks, a green and a blue one. see
Yeah,
they-
I just picked those up at like a Halloween store. I don't think they're like collectible or anything like that, but they do look cool.
Yeah, hey, if you collect them, they're collectible.
Yeah, you're right. It was 3. It says right
Right.
here.
Nice.
And yeah, ha! Introducing it's awesome.
Dig it.
I have all of them separately on DVD, but I can't find it. I've been wanting to show Caspira, but I can't find the first one. I think I lost the first one when I was in the process of moving.
After.
I really want that Scream Factory box. I missed it.
The Screen Factory box?
Yeah, of Critters. It's so sick.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
So I mean, like, I'm thinking about all the killers in like Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4, and
Yeah, we didn't rate it.
no, we haven't. We haven't really covered 2 or 3.
So for me, of course, it's Billy Loomis, Stu, then it's Jill, then probably
The
the
mother
brother.
is Jill, right? She's in.
No, Jill is the niece, unless I'm told.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, that is so 2008.
2011.
Okay, well, she was like behind her time. You know, the whole pop culture of wanting to be a part of the past and making it something for their own self, even on the internet or just in general.
No, that shit was ahead of its time, I thought.
Yeah, I think that's still relevant.
Like 2008, 2009 was when that was starting.
What people were doing, filming their lives.
Yes.
We had the MySpace when Scream 4 came out. I mean, we had Facebook too. We were on Facebook. People,
Man, I miss MySpace. Oh.
Yes.
But you didn't see like live streams. There was no live streaming really back then yet.
I
It was pretty
did.
new.
I did. I was into that.
2008, there wasn't even really HD so much.
I mean, I was into hackers and hackers showing me the light. So with that, I feel like my stuff was in the underground in 2008, 2009. So that was absolutely, I was into the whole, you know, Andy Warhol thing and like reality TV showing your life scene for scene and wanting to be a part of like pop culture and bigger than bigger of what was you and if you're a part of history and make
When did-
yourself a star.
When
in that
did
history.
Instagram come out? That was like what, 2010, 2012? Because I feel like when she say, I don't want friends, I want fans.
Oh, that's a
2010 was Instagram.
There you
Instagram.
go.
See, so I thought that was right on the nose.
So 2009 was like that kind of thing. 2008, 2009. The year of like really getting into it because reality TV was already a thing. You know, the whole SAG-AFTRA, you know, the Screenwriters Guild going on strike and then going into getting reality TV stars because they had no experience, they paid them less or nothing at all, and then you know you want to, you know, Andy Warhol's team is the same, everyone's into this thing.
She didn't want 15 minutes, but she wanted more than that.
That's what
I'm trying to remember what it reminds me of, other than in 2010, I remember taking mushrooms and I almost murdered all my friends there and filmed it and
Haven't we
uploaded
all
it onto
done
YouTube,
that?
which is sort of what they were doing, but in a much more clever way. The fourth one. I don't know.
thought
I think
the fourth had such a good ending. I think number 1 and number 4 are like on par with the best endings, like the best finales in my opinion.
I don't really care. I mean, part 2, what was that? The Mother's Revenge?
yeah, part 2 to me. I mean, they started shooting that 6 months after they first one. My problem with part 2 was it felt a little sloppy. It was so much repeating of the first one. Yeah, it was bam, bitch go down all over again. But it's not as funny. And then but that I don't know.
And the third one was
the third one was totally just like, how can we make this as epic as it can be? Here, let's have her have a brother, and it's all because of the mother's death again. But we pretend like everything was just puppeted up until this point. They didn't really gel together very well. But
one interesting.
But I liked how you had like her house on the set. It was very meta that they were making a movie.
I enjoyed that part.
Yeah, that was cool. One interesting thing about number 3 is because of the Columbine incident, they made Wes Craven like take out most of the gore and like really, really censored the hell out of Scream 3. It was like a victim of censorship because of this like reaction from society from this one thing that happened. I mean, like, you can't just blame movies for everything, but there are some people out there who will watch a movie and get inspired or whatever.
Yeah, there were, because there was a case of murders where these 2 boys they murdered someone and they tried to blame Scream 1 and 2. They tried to get off by blaming.
But it's like, if you're just gonna blame Scream 1 and Scream 2, then why not blame every single movie where somebody dies in it?
I blame Edward Scissorhands.
Like nobody shoots up a place and then they blame an action movie. Like, they don't blame Jason Statham.
Well, if they have a good lawyer, they will.
Yeah, it's always horror. And same thing happened with Child's Play. The reason there was a 7-year gap between 3 and Bride of Chucky was because somebody in the UK murdered someone and they tried to blame the violence on the Chucky.
Yeah, because their dad had rented Child's Play. I think it was Child's Play 3. They had it like rented on VHS at their home around the time that this happened, so they like just blamed Child's Play 3. And it's like part of the Video Nasties era or whatever, where they were just censoring the hell out of horror.
Movie, I blame the parents.
Yeah.
I don't truly think there's anyone to blame. Everything can be an aspect.
No, because a parent's job is to teach a child everything they know. Mm-hmm. That's not true? That's not true?
It's
true. Before I ever watched horror movies, my dad sat me down and like explained it's just a movie. These are actors, like this is all makeup. Here's how they make fake blood and stuff like that. So I kind of like understood it going into the genre. And I feel like a lot of parents just don't take the 5 minutes to do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
That's the parent's
job.
Like,
good parenting.
Don't blame the movie, blame the parent. Like, what's the root of the child's like arena? It's like the movie is not parenting the child. The parent is, and they're supposed to take time to explain that. Thank you. Yes. Very good.
Yes, that's good. I still won't blame the parents. I don't think you can blame anyone except for the individual. And everything.
No, because the individual can interpret it, but the parent's job to say, what did you understand from my interpreting that to you? The parent's job is to understand that the child understands what is being explained, presented.
Actress who plays Gail Weathers. I
thought
it was cool.
Parker Posey. She's
yeah.
great. She's in Dazed and Confused. She's the one who's like,
which is a very dynamic character.
Yeah. She's in The Mighty Wind. She's in Best in Show. She's in a lot of those independent movies. Parker Posey. She's the best. Next to Juliette Lewis, she's an awesome actress. Most people who aren't mentioned, like Jennifer Aniston, or like I don't know, whoever.
I just remembered there is another fact. when I feel like it was when the third one came out, they were contracted for up to 6. So I am gonna go ahead and assume, because this one is already seeing pretty big success, people seem to really like it. I think we're gonna get another Scream movie, at least in the next like 5 years.
Okay.
I hope so. I'll watch it regardless.
Where do you think it's gonna go, you guys? Where?
Well, so I read that when they did the fourth one, Wes Craven intended for that to be a new trilogy. 4, 5, and 6 were supposed to be a trilogy with Jill originally was supposed to survive, and Sydney was supposed to have amnesia and not remember who the Ghostface killer fourth one was, and Jill was supposed to go on with her fame of being the victim, and there's supposed to be another Ghostface who wanted to kill her. So there was 2 killers in the next one. So she was supposed to carry on. They're supposed to carry on with characters from the fourth one into a new trilogy, but it did not happen. I guess because Wes Craven passed away.
Wow.
And then another thing that did not happen, back to the whole with the censorship after the Columbine massacre. Matthew Lillard was contracted to come back into Scream 3 as orchestrating a killer from prison. He was supposed to have survived from the TV and the knife stabbings. He was supposed to be behind it. But when they rewrote the script due to the censorship, even to make it into the film, and because he was contracted, they had to buy him out, meaning they had to pay him anyway for not being in the film.
Damn.
So those were some directions the series could have gone that it did not.
Wow.
That would be crazy, hey? Like, Ghostface is already in prison. Like, what do you do then?
Yeah, well, he's got someone on the outside to help him.
I would love to see a version where the killer actually wins in it, and then you have them, just because they haven't done that.
Yeah, because that causes for more
that's what makes Scream so unique. Every other series you have Jason Voorhees, Chucky,
and they
Fred
mentioned
Krueger
that
coming back.
in the movie as well.
Yeah.
They mentioned,
It's always a new guy.
You always have the killer, like being not being able to die, and they're trying to keep the franchise alive, and
it's real. As meta as it is, it's realistic.
Yes, exactly. What I enjoyed about screenwriter Kevin Williamson, in the original Scream, was that he said he came up with the premise of that what's her name, that Casey girl?
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. He came up with the whole premise as a play, as a one-act play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like a short film, that intro.
Yeah, he wrote this as a one-act play, and then he extended it later. Isn't that funny? It started so small, created this something that's 5 movies later.
Yeah, that's wild. A one-person play?
Yeah,
it would just be like her on the stage on the phone, and that would be like the whole scene on stage. That's exactly. I would actually like to see that.
Right? Very New York.
It would take some crazy acting chops.
Right?
Very.
I think that's why Drew Barrymore felt that was appropriate to play that one important scene that's been reenacted and just kind of played with in all the other Scream movies. It's like a girl on the phone. She was the one that introduced it, playing with knives while they're always in the kitchen. Always in the kitchen.
It's become a staple now.
Exactly.
It's like if they start a Scream movie and it's not in a kitchen, a girl on a phone, I'm gonna be upset.
There you go.
Well, again, I guess that's where the third one's different, because I can't recall any kitchen scenes in the third one. It starts off driving in traffic.
That is different. Yeah, that is different. Which is like what it stands out to you. Yeah, you could either be upset or happy with it.
I also have to shout out to, I really enjoyed the character Cotton Weary. I thought he was a great character in the
He was a good. I think
second
yeah,
and third
he was
film.
a good scapegoat. He was someone to go to blame something out. I remember watching these series as a kid and thinking like, who the fuck is Cotton? Why are they blaming this guy on everything? Because I wasn't really reading into everything that
You're
was
like,
happening.
why is it Cotton's fault? Who? What about polyester?
Yeah, yeah. Cotton breathe.
Where was spandex during all of this?
And like his he was still like trying to do a show or something called 100% Cotton.
Yeah, yeah, that was the show. He became famous for being
Because he
innocent.
was innocent.
Because he saved Sydney
Yeah.
in the second one.
And that's
yeah.
why, and that's why Courtney's character was famous because she really was like, boom, bitch, he ain't the one that you saw that was leaving your mom's house in that coat. It was your boyfriend.
That was a very interesting dynamic too. For like this bitchy reporter who has, you know,
Just confident in the fact that she does that.
Well, she's just all out for herself, but she actually
Yeah.
helped free an innocent man and helped stop his murder.
But that wasn't her
But,
intention.
It's also because it helps her career too.
Exactly.
Of course.
Yeah. Like her cameraman who died, it's like all the innocent and good intentional people die in these movies. And he was just all about like, every time she says, "Do you know what this means?" He's like, "Yeah, innocent man is gonna be off of like death row." She's like, "No, it's good for my ratings."
What can do for my book sales?
Yeah, my book sales. Yeah, that's all she was interested in. Where her book, her man behind the camera was really behind what the truth was. Saving innocent people.
And then in the fifth one, she talked about how she started to blame herself for writing the books that influenced the films, which influenced the copycat killers. Billy Loomis's fault, or
I think
whatever.
that's just like her ego, her dealing with her ego, because realistically it would have happened and it would have gotten fame regardless of her book.
Exactly.
Like people really, especially nowadays, I find now more than ever, people are very interested in murder cases, especially unsolved ones.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Nowadays,
horror
we
is
have
true
people
crime.
doing makeup while they're talking about murder crimes.
Yeah, or like stuffing their face or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all of this stuff was so taboo before. Now it's like a complete obsession. People used to be shunned for being fanatics about the horror genre and then the true murder stuff.
Like I love like the behind the scenes of fairy tale stories because they're all absolutely like
Horrific.
they're horrifically lovely. Like the Rapunzel story was of a woman who was not able to date for years, and they had her like not cut her hair. She was actually skin and bone, and
So they ate her hair.
they tried to help her, and they just disgraced her from home. So for all those girls that feel like they're not getting out enough, they got the real Rapunzel.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your music, Meow. So, you said you've been rapping for about 10 years, Meow. And
yeah, about 10 years. I've been taking it seriously for less time, but yeah, I've been rapping for about 10 years.
And how, has horror films and the horror genre always been a aspect of that, or is that something that came as a separate new era of inspiration or something?
No, I picked that up way later. Like, I started with Obscene Division, my group. That's what the OD in my name stands for. And yeah, at first, I mean, like, I've always been a horror fan. Like, I've been collecting most of my life. And so we did use dark subjects, and I referenced horror movies all the time. But then this person who said he was a fan of mine wanted me to make a Michael Myers rap song because he liked my style and he wanted to make a documentary about Halloween. And yeah, he asked me to write a song, and I thought it was the best idea ever. So I was like, what if I was Michael Myers? Like, what if Michael Myers was the rapper? So Yeah, so I wrote that in one sitting. I thought it was great, and I was like, you know what, I really, really like doing this. So then I wrote The Tall Man from Phantasm, and after that I did like Norman Bates, Mars Attacks, and I just kept going because like I'm such a big movie fan anyway, and I don't see anybody else out there doing this. I mean, there's like Ice Nine Kills, but they're like the metal version of what I'm doing.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, and about your, how do you go about the music video aspect of it?
Well, there's like multiple steps to it. So I'll watch the movie like 3 or 4 times. If it's a franchise, I'll watch the whole thing like multiple times, take all my notes, and I'll send the idea to my guy Squib, who then makes me a beat relevant to the movie or with like a feel of the movie. And so I take all my notes, go over the beat, write my verses and everything like that. Maybe I'll have the movie going on in the background, read some facts about it, put in some, you know, fan service type stuff. And yeah, after that, I'll get it mixed and mastered, and I'll have to watch all the movies all over again, but go like scene by scene and break it all down into like all the things that I've referenced. So I'll have like 1,000 clips of like random few seconds here and there of just like scenes that I've referenced in my song, in my verse. And yeah, I'll just clip it all together, and then I just do the lyrics over top of that. It's painstaking, but for some reason I love doing it.
It comes out pretty fantastic. The ones that I've listened to and watched on YouTube I dig it.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah. There's Ghostface by Poltergeist.
Face, no trace. Police won't chase those results you won't face. No. Catch your body, go cold case. Hang up on me again, you bitch. I'll cut you like a fucking fish. You just moved yourself up the list. Skewer you like a fucking pig. I'll cut your wrist or cut the shit. I've been craving some to spit. Got him in the kitchen yelling, get it up, like you sucked a dick. Yelling cut like I'm about to. With a higher body count too. You were tardy to the party, so I'm starting here without you. So oh, that's your daughter hanging from a tree. I'ma be the top story, Gail. You got those headlines from me. Drop you like a stone bedrock. Home alone with that red dot. Should've been a headshot. Fuck you, Sidney Prescott. My, must have rung the wrong number. Why my still stuck in the gut? I'm a ghost, I'm a god, I'm one of the other. And I'm behind your slut of a mother. We can chat it up, but I'm seeing her. Things are bad enough between me and her. Can't be nothing as sweet as her. Stabbed up in a theater. Carnage, candy, fairy tale. They can be very real. Who says they can't be? Sid, I made you a real life Bambi. Look what I do with this mic. Just wait till you see what I can do with this knife. I'll make your life my favorite scary movie tonight. Welcome to the final act. Break your leg and try to keep your spine intact. Do every line in fact. Forget the past will come back and bite your ass. Close range, I'm an ass kisser. Never change, I'm a bad tipper. Heard you got a new friend. Let's hope he's not a bad swimmer. Michael Jackson's Thriller. I'ma pack him in a coffin. Sick a psychopathic killer on him. Michael Matthew Lillard on him. Might have to hurt you after curfew when a mask will work. You don't obey the rules, well that's too bad. Your ass will have to learn to. You hopeless fool. Jesus Christ, you don't know the rules. Throw the deuce, wanna snap you from the shoulders up like a photo booth. Do you like scary movies? I'm rated R like a pair of boobies. I cut the bitch out like she barely knew me. This shit wouldn't be fair to do. Try to find him with the lights on. Slice and dice him, I'm an icon. Fingers wrapped around her throat, nice and tight like a python. Try to name the culprit. My way with your throat slit. Took the highway through the bullshit, then I became a cult hit. How about that? How about that? You can never have sex. You can never drink or do drugs. Well, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All it takes is one incision to become a victim out of the darkness. Ain't that right? What the fuck you sniffing? This is not a dream, baby. This ain't Halloween, baby. When I'm on the scene, this is what we call a scream, baby. This is not a dream, baby. This ain't Halloween, baby. When I'm on the scene, this is what we call a scream, baby.
Follow me on Instagram and the Slasher app at poltergeist_OD. Shout out to Slasher if you haven't heard about it. It's like social media, but only for horror fans. If you get banned from Facebook like I did for posting about horror stuff, go to Slasher.
Really? Okay, I have to check that out.
It's great.
Oh, Nev Campbell. Another thing I thought was interesting. Nev Campbell is not a horror fan. Sydney mentions that in the new one as well. She says she's not really into horror.
What?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
weird.
know. Facts either.
And I also found it hilarious when, what's her name? The police officer of the scary movie. More into musicals and dramas or something.
Yeah.
It's always strange when an actor does like genre films like that, and they're like, I don't
They're not
even watch this stuff.
Okay, like Cat Pot, but see, I can't even say that. Like that's like
Vampira?
No, what's her name? Elvira is not into horror, but that's not like part of the topic.
Yeah. You could talk about that, sure, why not? Let's go use the letterbox. I shall return.
Okay, so I'm trying to find facts in the meantime. Let me see. We have, I'm trying to find facts that I know about this movie. 5 facts. What have you got?
Oh, I think I spilled all my facts.
I should have written more. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to think of like what the whole movie like franchise was like the middle of it. Okay, so we have Scream 1. We have that was Courtney Arquette and what's her name? David Arquette and Courtney Cox. They met on the first Scream. Okay. And then they had like what, 1 kid from it. I just know their facts and like their information.
It's all good.
Oh, he says they talk about that in Scream 3 as well. About girls having to fuck producers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. And they
it's very predominant. It's always existed. I mean, the whole like casting couch has existed since like the 60s, maybe 50s, or early on, and just the whole having women being object in the screen. Okay, that's understandable. Is it accepted? Yes. Has it been changed? No, not until Harvey Weinstein and Bob, his brother, is not so much in the media, but Harvey, yeah, because people like Gwyneth Paltrow, Salma
Behind
Hayek.
you!
Ah!
Look out!
Well, that is all for meow. Sorry we failed to talk about the intensity of Dewey's final moments getting gutted and it being such an honor. However, also the part where the finale of the fifth when they realize they are in Stu Macher's house where it all began, that pan out, revealing the entire household. Also, we would like to take this time to tell everyone the Planet 9 Film Festival now has submissions open. So, if you are a filmmaker, especially of the horror, sci-fi, or music genres, find the Planet 9 Films and Film Freeway and submit your gruesome work. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at count_cat. We are on youtube.com/deathcattv and also CountCat on the Twitter. In some other social media, of course, Facebook and all that crap. Thank you for tuning inside out, or the Scream episode of Cat Horror Potcat.